Hi, everybody. Jean Humbrecht with Humbrecht Law here, criminal and traffic defense attorney in Manassas, Virginia. Welcome to our weekly Wednesday local business spotlight. Today, I have a very special guest that I have a particular personal interest in hearing from her today, Tara O'Brien from Scout and Cellar Clean Crafted Wine. And in celebration of National Mulled Wine Day, which is today, that is why we are bringing this presentation to you. Tara O'Brien is an integrative nutrition health coach and an independent wine consultant. Have you ever thought about what's really in your wine? I haven't. The FDA requires labels on your food, but not on your wine. So let's talk about wine. What's in wine, how to make a healthier choice, or what she likes to call choosing a nicer vice. I don't know about vice. And of course, let's talk about some delicious varieties of wine. So, Tara, at this point, I'm going to turn it over to you to tell everybody a little bit more about yourself and the company in case people watching have not heard about it before.
Great. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. As you said, so I am an integrative nutrition health coach. And so what that means is that I'm always looking for things that are better for you. People always are looking for something that's good for you, good for the planet, good for everybody. So I was particularly drawn to Scout and Cellar wine when I found out about them about 2.5 years ago. The company itself is about 3.5 years old, so we're still new on the wine scene. But we're trying to change the way wine is made in this country. We're really trying to take it by storm because most people, including myself, even though I had nutrition training, I didn't know what was in our wine. It's not something that the traditional winemakers want us to know. So they are allowed to put in 250 different chemicals that are approved by the FDA. And they do this for a variety of reasons. They want you, like when you go to the grocery store or to Total Wine and pick up your favorite bottle of wine, they want you to have the same experience year in, year out, same flavor. They don't want it to change. And that's not realistic, right? Because different conditions of the grapes, of how they're grown, how the climate was, other things that are grown at the vineyard, all affects the flavor of the grapes. So you really don't have the same flavor year after year, but they want you to. So they use things like, if you've ever gotten purple teeth from drinking red wine, it's actually not from the wine, which most people think it is. It's not from the grapes. It is from an additive called Mega Purple. And Mega Purple is about 68% sugar, and it's also used for coloring and flavoring. So not something that those commercial vineyards want you to know that they're using. It also is how they pick the grapes. In these big commercial vineyards, they go through with the machine and, pull all the grapes off of the vine. And then they sit out in the hot sun in these big tubs at the end of the rows, and they start to ferment in the sun. And bacteria starts to form. So they have to add in what I like to call wine antibiotics because they have to kill that bacteria. So our founder decided that, she wanted to go back to the traditional ways of making wine. She was a lawyer, like yourself, and she decided that she loved wine so much she wanted to become a sommelier. And in her training, she started to get really massive headaches. And she's thinking, oh, great, threw away my law career to become a sommelier, and I can't drink the wine. It gives me headaches. You're like, bad choice. So she's like, no, there's got to be something to it. So she found out that it wasn't actually the wine that was making her sick. It was the additives and the chemicals that were put into the wine. So she said, I'm going to make wine back in the traditional way, just the grapes with the smallest amount of sulfites. And we lab test it to make sure that nothing is in there. So let's say there's 0.001 of glyphosate in there. We won't accept those grapes. We just want to make sure when you buy Scout and Cellar, 100% that all you're getting is actually the grapes and then the naturally occurring sulfites, which is what is necessary to keep it as wine and not vinegar. So it's definitely the way we should be doing it. And, we work with farmers all over the world. So we have relationships with these family farms who are committed to biodynamic and sustainable agriculture. So that's helping with climate change. It's giving back to the earth. And that's something that's really important to our company as well.
Wow, I just learned a lot of scary information.
Most people don't know that.
I did not know that the reason that your lips turn purple is because of the chemicals in wine. I thought that wine was a healthier choice than some other things you could drink, but I guess not.
Well, the right wines are, because, the right wines, you are still getting all of those antioxidants and the resveratrol and all those things, which are very good for your health, in moderation. But unfortunately, it's just that the commercial wine industry, they have to make money, right? So they are going to be putting in these fillers and these additives. And I think, one of the things that I think really brings home the difference is that if you look at one grapevine of Scout and Cellar wine, it makes 2 bottles of wine. And a commercial vineyard, do you want to guess how many bottles of wine a commercial vineyard gets from one vine?
I have no idea.
Between 10 and 20.
Wow.
So how much wine are you really getting in those bottles? You're getting a lot of additives and chemicals. And the other thing is added sugar. We don't add any sugar. Ours is just the natural sugar that comes from the grapes. And most of ours have a residual sugar level of under 5, except for some of the sparkling. But some wines can add up to 16 grams of additional sugar in addition to the residual sugar. So you're getting a lot of extra sugar that sometimes if people get headaches, it can be from the sugar. It can also be from the additives. There's a number of reasons why, but definitely the sugar is not your friend. None of us need extra sugar in our diet, and we certainly don't need it from our wine.
Tara, I am going to stop you there because I think we might not be live. StreamYard is showing me that we're live, so if any of you out there can see me, please leave me a comment before I end this broadcast, but I checked with somebody because I'm not seeing it on my Facebook. I'm just saying that so that if anybody... If we are live and it's just not showing up on my Facebook page, please type a comment and let me know. Otherwise, I think we're going to need to end this and start over again, if that's okay.
Oh, no, of course, of course.
I'm sorry.
So let's see if I can see it from my side. I have a feeling that it's not. No, it says the live video hasn't started.
Okay. Well, on StreamYard, it says we are live. So, all right, everybody, I'm going to end this and we are going to start over. If anybody sees this, I'll see you again in a few minutes. Tara, I'm going to send you a new link. So,
okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.